As you're hopefully all aware, this meeting will be recorded and in the end uploaded onto the DaWetRest YouTube channel, as well as linked on the DaWetRest website. Okay, I believe I'll start. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of you to the 7th session of the Danube-Black Sea Lighthouse Community of Practice. And today's session will be tackling the aspect of building the workforce for wetland restoration, skills, careers, and opportunities. I myself am Jan Bahr from Steinbeis Europazentrum. The contents of today's session will be, we'll start off with, first of all, the welcome and the introduction to the 7th session. Then we'll follow with some expert sessions, with 2 expert sessions to be more precise. One by Dr. Victoria Chupon from DaWetRest, and she will tackle skills and workforce needs for wetland restoration. The second expert session is from DaWetRest's coordinator, Ekaterina Bachvarova, and she will also deal with the DaWetRest workforce in particular. Then we will have an interactive roundtable and a Q&A session. For the roundtable, we have 2 external speakers, and one is Dr. Astrid Schmidt-Kläuber, and the other is Phyllis Opposi. Then we have Maria Durao, and Victoria Chupon is also joining us for the roundtable, as well as Ekaterina. And last but not least, we will have a small wrap-up and outlook by myself. First of all, I would just take a small moment to mention some house rules, so to say. Again, this session will be recorded and be put on the DaWetRest YouTube channel, as well as the website, where it is linked. And I'll kindly ask you to mute your microphone and pose any questions that arise in the chat. During the Q&A session after the roundtable, we will have approximately 10 minutes for questions from the audience, and we are very excited to hear from you and to hear your questions, your feedbacks. To provide a small recap of the community of practice, its vision is that it's dedicated to the deployment and upscaling of DaWetRest innovations, and we do want the community of practice to become a continuous platform facilitating wetland restoration in the Danube River Basin. And for that, we strive to we strive for the benefit of local communities, socially, economically, and environmentally. And therefore, we want to generate ideas for future wetland restoration initiatives, promote cooperation among a diverse range of stakeholders. We want to create co-creative solutions and build capacity, as well as serve as a link between the local communities and European strategies, goals, and opportunities. That is naturally, since DaWetRest is co-funded by the European Union and part of the EU mission to restore our oceans and waters. The running mode is that we have 3 pillars. We have expert sessions, co-creation, and opportunities, and consultation. And the expert sessions strive to learn from other projects, associated regions, or DaWetRest partners, and to have external experts on topics identified during co-creation. Speaking of which, during the co-creation phases, we want to determine challenges and bottlenecks, and also find missing resources and expertise to solve these challenges. And during the opportunities and consultation, we strive to explore, develop, and plan future possible European initiatives, or maybe also local initiatives and projects for wetland restoration in the Danube River Basin. And naturally also provide support and solutions for challenges faced by members working on wetland restoration. So this interlinking is very important to us. The operation and membership is that it is, as most of you will know, a bi-monthly, every second Friday of the month meeting, and the next session will be taking place on the 13th of February in 2026. The co-creation space is a mural, and the exchange of information and resources is through the DaWetRest website, as well as emails and newsletters. The membership is, of course, everyone who's registered will receive information and invitations to the regular meetings. Before we start with the expert sessions, I would kindly ask you to join our Mentimeter questionnaire for a moment. And for that,
Can you write the link in the chat, please? Because
naturally, I'm already on it.
Perfect.
The link is in the chat.
Yes, we have prepared a small Mentimeter questionnaire to get to know our audience. And I will share my screen now to get to the questionnaire. So as the first question, we have, what is your job title? To get to know all of the different jobs and our audience, as the workforce is the topic for our session today.
This is not the first question. The first question is which skills will be the most important in next, I think, 5 years.
Okay.
I think you need to reload the once again. Make a reload. I had this also, but
yes,
I reloaded
right.
this time.
Yeah. I have this first question. What is your job title? If you open it with the phone, but if I open it with the computer, it's another one.
Okay, I'm sorry for that. So maybe, yes, reload the questionnaire like Astrid proposed. And then we have as the first question, what is your job title? So I can see already that we have some project managers among us, as well as, of course, scientific personnel, as we also have a lot of people from our DaWetRest consortium. So researchers, professors, and engineers. So it is good to welcome you all here. Then I will go to the next slide. If you work in wetland restoration, what is your occupation currently? So to see if we have some audience members that work in wetland restoration among us. Okay, so here we have already some occupations as carbon sequestration and remote sensing, as well as citizen science. So I'm sure that we will talk about some of these topics during our discussions today. And We have monitoring, scientific support, stakeholder engagement. Okay, thank you very much. This is very interesting to see all of the different occupations that you're working on in wetland restoration. Then we come to our next question. What skills for wetland restoration are lacking in your region, would you say? No skills are lacking. That is good news. Community engagement. Yes, this is always one of the crucial parts for the wetland restoration projects, as we already heard in some previous community of practice sessions, to engage the local communities that are really involved in the wetland restoration. Of course, financing is also always an issue. And the planning, the long-term planning, the short-term planning, to involve all stakeholders and collaborate together. Okay, thank you for these answers. This is very interesting and also good recap to our other sessions. Then we have the question, how can we get the next generation excited about renaturation? As we are also talking about career paths today and the different ways in which people can get engaged to the wetland restoration communities. Via field work. Yes, I mean, this is the heart of wetland restoration, the field work, working on the sites, working on the pilot sites. And I'm sure if students have the opportunities to visit these sites, it is very exciting for them and makes them go to these career paths. Benefits presentation, interactive communication, involve them in the concrete projects. Sports. Okay, thank you for these answers. This is also very interesting. And then we have a last question. Which skills will be the most important in 5 years, according to you? There we already have some answers. Communication is a very big skill. Communication within the projects and to the external stakeholders, and also via the funding institutions, problem solving. Of course, there's always problems that arise in projects with a lot of stakeholders. Technical skills, adaptability. Okay, interesting. So these are a lot of soft skills, I would say, but also technical skills, basic research, of course, are the heart of wetland restoration. Thank you very much for answering our short questionnaire. This was a good way to get to know our audience, and also for our speakers maybe to get to know our audience who will lead the roundtable. And now I will give over to Victoria for the first presentation.
Okay, thank you, Lucy. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And I hope it works.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so hello everyone, good morning. My name is Victoria Tupon, and I'm a researcher from the University of Pannonia. I'm a geographer. So, and we were participating in this skills and workforce needs to collect the needs which are important for the wetland restoration, what kind of skills and competencies we need for it. And it was, and thank you, Lucy and Jan, for these interesting questions regarding this first session, because I just realized we had to move forward because of the problem solving and the other skills maybe have to be involved as well to our training modules, because we have firstly I involved some other colleagues from different faculties as well to collect what kind of skills and competencies we need for wetland restoration. And we had on board some, of course, economists. We had regarding sustainability, some colleagues. They are dealing with not only water-related issues, but related to this is a maintenance of the natural resources, and they are evolving in nature-based solutions implementations as well. And I involved as well some colleagues from the national parks, because they are dealing with these restorations day by day in their everyday life. So after that, we just collected some skills and competencies and knowledge, what is important for the mentioned activities. And after that, we just created 4 modules and created some other cross-cutting modules as well. The first one, as you see, this is nature-based solutions and their benefits and challenges. The second one is doing sustainable business. So it's regarding economics and local economic development. We just try to collect some knowledge and needs of skills and competencies. The third one, this is a planning and development strategies for local and regional municipalities, because as I see now from my experience, they need this knowledge, and not only the skills regarding communication and problem solving, as I mentioned, and the other skills, but they need a real scientific knowledge, as some colleague already mentioned in this questionnaire. And after that, these municipalities, if they have chance to get more insights regarding this scientific knowledge, after that they can solve these kind of problems. So as we see, as we saw it and just explored it, this is a really very important part of these modules. And the fourth, this is knowledge management and patent research and opportunities. And we also created some cross-cutting modules regarding the soft skills. This is building networks, the first one. The second one, this is starting points for a sustainable business. And the next one, this is sustainability in action. So how can they build up a sustainable business in everyday life? The next one, this is transforming SMEs for an eco-innovative supply chain. And the next one, this is the value creation. So we are going to look through what kind of modules, what kind of skills and competencies and knowledge we have collected during this work. The first one, as I mentioned, this is nature-based solutions. So as you will see, actually who is dealing with nature-based solutions or who are dealing with this wetland restoration, they have to be aware with different kind of disciplines. And that's why we figured it out, how can we support them with small parts, small and short-term trainings. Because if somebody already knows some knowledge and the facts regarding the nature-based solutions and wetland restoration or the scientific knowledge, after that they can choose only the other modules or cross-cutting modules, which would be benefits regarding the improvement of their soft skills. So in this module, we explore the key concepts and benefits of challenges and challenges of nature-based solutions. And learn something about nature-based solution monitoring and policy background. My colleague Viola collected this EU inland wetland regulation and legislation system, and it was very useful to look through what kind of differences we have between our countries, even if these kind of territories are close to each other. And actually, if you see the nature, these are the same territories. But of course, because we are in different countries, we have to follow different legislation system, different regulations. But of course, it would be great if we have this similar legislation system. So we try to figure out what kind of solutions we need. And after that, we try to discuss real-world examples and monitoring strategies regarding nature-based solutions and what kind of knowledge they will learn or they need to do this nature-based solution protection. They have to explain key terms and main features of biodiversity protection and nature-based solutions. So, of course, they need this scientific knowledge. They have to capable to compare approaches to biodiversity protection and nature-based solutions. And they have to have some skills. How can they evaluate nature-based solutions in detail? Because after that, they can choose what kind of process, what kind of solution it will be useful for their activities. The second one, this is doing sustainable business. This is eco-innovative actions. Because, of course, at first, they have to know what kind of targets they would like to achieve, and after that they have to choose the right mechanism, and after that they have to see the possible impacts. So as you see now from this slide, they will need at least 3 different kind of disciplines to be involved in their actions. Firstly, the scientific knowledge. Secondly, this is a kind of project management or economic related knowledge. And after that, of course, some soft skills what they need, because we are always mentioning the communication and community engagement, community involvement, and civil, residents involvement. And this is I think this is the most important part of this wetland restoration or nature-based solution or this kind of activities, because without citizens, without residents, we cannot make it happen. What is the aim of this module? This is to understand know-hows and impacts of sustainability in businesses. So to create this training module, I involved economics and of course some geographers as well, and colleagues who are dealing with sustainability. So they can identify, after this module, they can identify the different targets in order to process sustainable innovative ideas. And they, of course, in this part, they will need some project management knowledge as well. They have to apply the correct method by which a change in the innovation target tackles place or is introduced, and plan the eco-innovative actions considering its impacts also during the life cycle. So in that part, the project management is also in the core of this knowledge. The third one, this is planning and development strategies for local and regional municipalities. As I mentioned, I have more than 22 years experience regarding municipalities and their activities, and I try to involve them to every different kind of research plans. Not only to wetland restoration, but the other plans, other projects as well. But I have the same conclusion in every time, in every municipalities, and doesn't matter what kind of disciplines or projects we would like to tackle. The most important needs and necessities from their side. This is the knowledge, and this is a scientific knowledge regarding their activities and the multidisciplinarity, what they need. So these mayors, because we are talking about the mayors and the surrounding people of the mayors, so they have to be very, very good at different disciplines, or if they are not, they have to know somebody who is good at these different disciplines. So the process of territorial strategy planning, they have to aware stakeholder involvement and governance models. Of course, the municipalities, mostly of the municipalities, they are very good at stakeholder involvement. Not all of them, but most of them, what I know. And I saw a really good example, for example, in Bulgaria, in Rusa and Sivopoye and the other settlements, because the mayor is like a father of the community. And this mayor knows everything about everyone, even if it's not only one settlement, village, or a small city, but maybe more. So they are really good at this stakeholder involvement and engagement. But of course, they need also some scientific background. Tools for monitoring, evaluation, and adaptation. So we can support them with this kind of monitoring tools and evaluation tools. And after that, if they know this kind of tools, after that, of course, they can use it, as I see. They can use it, and they will use it for sure if they see the benefit of these tools. They have to aware the EU instruments supporting regional development and the possible funds, of course, because they will need a fund for this restoration. What is the aim? This is a collaborative and sustainable approaches to local and regional development. So by the end of this module, the learners from the municipalities, they will understand the process of territorial strategy planning and implementation, they can identify the engage key partners in the development process. In that part, I used to make some canvas table together with the municipalities, and after they understand the mechanism, the logic behind this canvas, after that they will use it. Define and integrate economic, ecological, and social goals, and apply tools for stakeholder engagement, monitoring governance, and adapt strategies for local context and governance capacities. And the first one, this is the knowledge management at patent research. Regarding this knowledge management, they have to know something about the knowledge management, at least what kind of legislation they have to follow. And they have to know something about the development of knowledge management plan and opportunities, what kind of opportunities they will have in the future. So the learners will develop a structured knowledge management plan, conduct patent research using international systems, understand how to manage intellectual assets effectively, and identify innovation opportunities and novelty in product or process designs. So it was my presentation regarding our modules and cross-cutting modules, as I mentioned. And I would like to mention my colleagues, Veronika László and Peter Harta, who were involved deeply in this preparation of these modules. And I would like to ask if you have any question just regarding the modules and cross-cutting modules, because I didn't want to look through the cross-cutting modules, all of them, because as you see, it's a huge map, it's a huge competence map, actually, where we start. And it has different outcomes and really wide range of skills, competencies, and knowledge, what we can tackle with these modules. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Victoria, for that insightful presentation. If there are no questions right at this moment.
Now I have one question. I'm Isolda Majutadze from Georgia. I have a question with sustainable business, new innovation and development. What this means, if, for example, from our project, we are going to develop for restoration for Palestine Lake and develop wet agriculture, and this includes restoration of peatland, forest, and hydrology too. This is and also this is will some ecologically and economically very important for the locals. It's polyculture at course, and it is something like this, or we can do, or I have this question during the restoration work roadmap.
Thank you, Isolda. Thank you for your question. Yeah, it's actually it's very hard to convince the locals to use the eco-innovative or eco-friendly solutions
Yes.
in their activities, because it's based on tradition, and because they used to say it was useful 50 years earlier, so it will be useful now, or will be useful tomorrow as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very hard to convince them, but of course we would like to, we used to show them the benefits.
Yes.
And this kind of
Yes.
innovative solutions, it has a long-term benefit. So
Yes.
after that, if you are talking about this long-term benefit, and
Yes.
if you are talking about the water quality, for example, this is the most important one. And when we are talking about water quality, after that, I can convince them. This is important, not to use a lot of pesticides and a lot of other things what they used to use earlier, because it does harm on the water system, and yeah, lot of on the biodiversity. They will see it's not useful, and useful. Yeah, they see it's useful, but I try to convince them it's not so. It's not sustainable. Yeah, that's it. So it's a hard work, and it takes time, lots of time.
Yes, with meeting with local, and to explain, to raise public awareness, and to include the citizen science. And I think, yes, it's difficult, but yes.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
But you know, Isolda, if you see, if you can convince the mayor, after
Yes.
that, it's much easier to convince the residents, the locals.
Yes.
Yeah, and if we can convince only one a big agricultural producer, after
Yes.
that it's more easier to convince the others.
Yes.
Smaller.
Yes. This one. Thank you.
Thank you, Isolda. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Isolda, for the question. We still have, as far as I can see, 2 questions, one from Astrid and one from Nuno in the chat. If it is all right with you, I would like to postpone them to the Q&A session later on, because we are unfortunately already a bit behind schedule. But Astrid, if you could be so kind and write your question into the chat, that way it doesn't get potentially lost. And I would now
May I
kindly
answer them? I'm sorry, may I answer them in the chat or in the Q&A session?
The questions are posed in the chat. If you feel comfortable, you can answer them in the chat. Otherwise, I would address them in the Q&A session. However, looking at the time, I don't want the questions to get lost, but I don't know how many questions will arise during the roundtable.
Okay, thank you, Jan.
Thank you for the question. And now I'll give the word to Ekaterina.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Now I will try to share
Screen number 1. Do you see the screen?
Yes, we see
Yeah.
the screen. And
presentation mode. Yes.
yes, we see
I
the
don't see any more.
presentator mode.
Yes.
If you click on the
Hmm?
if you click on the three dots, then you can turn off the presenters mode, and you can still see the cameras. The hide presenter view.
Okay, I see.
But now I believe you need to show the other screen.
Okay, stop sharing. Then share. And then share screen 2. Do you see it now? Not really. Yeah.
Now the Teams is in front of the screen, but if you move Teams to the different screen, to the other screen, then we see the big presentation.
Okay, it's complicated with the 2 screens. Now, do you see it? No. Okay. So
it's behind the Teams window.
I see. Like this?
Perfect.
Okay. Sorry. My task today was to explain what is actually the workforce in our project. And DaWetRest, can I then move? I'm not sure
Just
I can
click
move.
on it.
Okay. And then back. Okay. With the mouse. Good. So we are quite large consortium with 20 partners, with 26 partners now, 25, and 20 associated partners. And what is important to tell about DaWetRest, it is that it is following the main objectives of the mission Ocean. So it is devoted to protection and restoration of freshwater ecosystems in the Danube Delta, also very close to the marine. And it is also working in the direction to prevent and eliminate pollution of our ocean, seas, and waters, in line with the EU Action Plan towards zero pollution for air, water, and soil. And what we do is through several actions in demo sites in the Middle Danube, in the area shared by Croatia, Hungary, and Serbia. And their task is mainly to create and operate by the end of the project, the green hatchery, to boost fish biodiversity, so to have enough food for birds and for people. Then to assess the capacity of the area for carbon sequestration, and try to develop transnational approach, which is related to the associated regions, which are I'm very glad that they participate here and they can follow all our discussions and work.
Then there is the lower Danube region, which is between Bulgaria and Romania, and they are mostly promised in the project technical innovative solutions, because the situation is like this, that there is no optimization of many of the maintenance activities for the wetlands, the one at Kalimov brushland, for example. So there should be some work there to automate the processes, and also to enhance monitoring, which actually has been missing there for up to now. And green or blue, whatever you call it, energy, if we manage to have by the end of the project an prototype of a pontoon power generator. So in Danube Delta demo, there are also many innovative and restoration works. The innovative part is green hatchery, which is entirely incorporated in the system of the delta. And of course, a lot of hydrotechnical works, hydrological modeling, and so on. And we also are happy to have on board our partners from countries outside the Danube region to support us with digital tools, with carbon sequestration methods developed in France, for example, or the methods to involve satellite measurements in order to estimate the capacity of the wetlands. So this was a bit long, but anyway, the local demos are, as I told, here in Middle Danube, Lower Danube, between Bulgaria and Romania, with several sites, and the large area of the delta, where there are several sites as well. And to deal with all this, as I said, 26 beneficiaries in the beginning and 20 associated partners. Now we have one company less, because unfortunately it got bankrupt during the COVID period, probably. So it was at the beginning of the project not able to act anymore. And what I can tell now is that, how can I move this? Okay. Our partners are diverse in the sense that we have 4 institutes, research institutes from 4 different countries. And the first one is ours, Climate, Atmosphere and Water Research Institute at Bulgarian Academy of Sciences. We have been working on some Danube Region program projects, and our role in the DaWetRest project is to support the lower Danube demo with meteorological and climate data and analysis. And of course, we are the coordinator of the action. The next institute, of course, is the Danube Delta Institute in Tulcea, where the program of projects is extremely rich, and we are happy that they are on board of our project, because they work on all the topics that are important for the work we promised and that we are carrying on. And they are working on technical problems as well as biodiversity restoration and many social aspects of the Danube Delta. So all this is very important. Then we have the Bureau de Recherche Geological Research, let us tell it in English, of France. And this partner gives us the methodology they worked on for some years on carbon sequestration. Then we have the Greek Institute of Communication and Computer Sciences, which is involved in the tasks of data presentation and data analysis on the portal of the project. Then we have 7 universities from 6 countries. And one of them is the Ruse Angel Kanchev University. And their role is leading in the demo, Lower Danube demo. And also their technical involvement is through the green energy or water current tidal generator and some monitoring of the morphology of the sites. We have the University of Zagreb, which is also very skillful in working on the data portal and supporting all the activities in Middle Danube demo. The University of Bucharest, Polytechnical University of Bucharest, sorry for this, and they are a very central university in Bucharest. We are also happy to have them, and they are also working for the Danube Delta demo. And the University, Technical University of Iași, as well participating in the Danube Delta demo. The UNIP, we just Pannonia University, we heard the presentation of Victoria, and it is their role is in developing the training programs we heard about, assessing national legislations and such other aspects of the project. Then we have the Technical University of Ukraine, which is also related to Danube Delta, and they do their best to be on board all the time. And the Institute of Ecology of Moldova, which was part of the academy of the beginning of the project, now is part of the University of Chisinau. So they are also related to Danube Delta demo. So then we have governmental representatives, which are the Ministry of Environment, Water and Forest in Romania, the Regional Inspectorate of such ministry, analogical ministry in Bulgaria. We have the Water Administration from Croatia. And I'm also thinking that Suodro is part of these governmental bodies. Then here we have local authorities, of course. For example, direct partner is Comuna Muringo from Romania, but the Association of Danube River Municipalities covered 30 municipalities from Bulgaria in this region. So they had a very rich audience field for discussions and applications of project results in Bulgaria through the local communities. Then we have business companies, NGOs, 8 from 5 countries, which are listed in this way, but they have a very essential role in the project because they work with the how to say, direct implementation of the ideas with the innovation that is searched and we aim to reach for the project at the end of the project, and then to spread and scale up to other regions, to the associated regions, and to all other sister projects and so on. All the good experience we can share. Just to tell one slide about Lower Danube demo, because we are here. This is how to say, water sound, or we can say it water drone, that help us to follow the physical and chemical parameters of the areas that we are investigating, and the automatic control of the logs. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for that presentation, Katarina. For any questions, I would like to refer to the chat. Please write them into the chat, since and now, without any further ado, I would quickly commence to the heart of our community of practice this time. The roundtable discussion on careers in wetland restorations. We have numerous speakers today, or at least members of the roundtable. First of all, we have Ekaterina Bashvarova, Professor Kauribas, coordinator of DaWetRest, as whom you've already heard, as well as Victoria Chupon from the University of Pannonia, whom we've also already heard, and thank you both for your insightful presentations. Also joining the table is Maria Durao from Innova Plus from Portugal. Also, thank you very much for joining the roundtable. Our 2 external guests, as previously just minutely indicated, are Phyllis Butler Posey, from founder of Posey Global and contributor to the Eco Advance project, who specializes in science communication and storytelling, focusing on authentic narratives that inspire engagement in freshwater restoration. Thank you for joining us today. And our last but not least member from today's roundtable is Dr. Astrid Schmidt-Kläuber from Boku University, and representing the Merlin Project, who's a leading expert in freshwater ecology and biodiversity, and bringing experience in science and citizen science and data-driven approaches to ecosystems to the table. To directly jump in to the first part is career paths, journeys, pivots, and barriers. To kick off this part, I would kindly ask Phyllis, what is your experiences in that regarding the career paths? What was your career path, or what can you tell us about that?
Well, actually, I can't really tell you about a career path that is long in freshwater restoration, because I'm a communication strategist. who was trained in physics, biology, and journalism, and was a scientific journalist for many years. I engaged in park planning in the United States and a whole variety of different media and opportunities to use communications to give information and to change people's thoughts and ideas. And I was lucky enough to be part of the Eco Advance Consortium for the last 3 years. And we really focused on what makes success in freshwater restoration and how do people influence that, in the sense that there are many projects. We're lucky to have many projects. And there are many people who take a step forward for freshwater and wetland restoration. And so one of the things we did 2 core products. One was a consultation to develop a checklist of what are the important and critical matters in freshwater restoration. And the other was to focus on individuals and their stories and their career insights and their technical insights on how did they proceed to do freshwater restoration. And I learned 4 interesting points. I guess the first one that I really learned was that when they look at, we asked them, what do you think is most important? When they looked at what was most important in making what they felt was their success, it was communication. It was talking to stakeholders, talking to people about the projects, helping people understand what the project was all about early rather than late, rather than trying to ask someone permission or forgiveness, convincing them that they were winners if this project would go ahead. And so when you think about win-win strategies, many of them said that if you get the other guy to win, you've won. If they feel like they have won, then you can get the project done and you've won. So I guess that was one piece, the critical focus on communications, and I know you're going to be talking a lot more about that later. The second thing was many of them advised to look at the long term, keep your focus on the long term, but realize that the long term is made up of many steps. And if you take a step today, even if it's a step backwards, you're moving forward. And that if you think about the long term, you will be able to accomplish your goals and to focus on doing one step at a time and not getting discouraged if the step turns out to be right over the cliff. And whoops, just step back and start again. And that leads to the third learning that we had, which was critical in a career in restoration, is adaptability. You have to be able to understand that what you thought may not really be what is there now, because what you thought is based on old models, on the models of yesterday. And today is another day, and tomorrow is even another day. And understanding that adaptability and flexibility is important to work into your projects and to make sure that your stakeholders and partners understand that, yes, I know we were going to do it this way, but it turns out we ought to be thinking about it in other kinds of ways as well. And that comes to kind of the last big learning that I heard from over 100 people that we consulted with, and that was prioritize. Not everything that is urgent is important, and focus on what is really important. Keep your focus on the goal, on the long term, and on stepping forward every day. So if that would be okay to just play one of the many, what we did is we talked to these people. We got them to make videos unedited in their own voice to explain how they saw their jobs and their careers. They came from many, many different careers. They started in fine arts, they started in economics, they started in all kinds of different professions. But the main thing that I saw in all of them was that they started as kids caring about nature. Their parents took them to the park, took them to a forest, they lived near a river, they lived near a creek. And that early potential idea of this is good for me, this is important, was one of the foundations to them going to a career. So no matter where you're coming from, you can contribute to restoration of our environment. Whether you do it as an individual or whether you do it as part of an organization. And she is the head of development of restorations for Cyprus's main NGO, and is an active developer of projects and a person who does projects every day.
All right, thank you very much. And I'm very sorry for having left for a moment. Teams crashed.
Well, I would advise all of you to go to ecoadvance.eu, and you can see profiles from people from your own country and from many other countries and how they feel about being in this space.
Thank you very much, Phyllis, for that. I have posted the link into the chat. It simply displays as Zoe Makridou. That leads directly to ecoadvance.eu, and the video that we try to show is right below it.
Many of the showcases have short videos where they give an overview and longer videos where they express more about their career and their projects.
Thank you very much. Have you identified any common barriers, perchance,
I think
for our neighbors?
The main barriers that people saw was their hesitancy to think about whether they were really making a difference. We talk to many people who say, I get up in the morning and I monitor these stations and I do this and I do that, but does it really matter? And in fact, that was one of the reasons I chose Joey's quick overview, because she basically says, I worry about that too, but it does matter because everyone makes a step, and that's a step forward. Even if you don't see it in the big picture, it really makes a difference over time.
Thank you very much. That does sound very, very inspiring, to be perfectly honest. I will, in this case, the original idea was to have each participant start with their career path themselves, but in light of the time, I do hope that it is all right with the participants that we continue to the different slots where I'm happy to hear your or more engagement. Otherwise, if you have something that is burning on your tongue, wanting to get out, please, roundtable participants, do share. All right. Then I will head on to the second part, which is education, training, and lifelong learning. And for that, I would ask Astrid, how were the materials that you have created for the Merlin project? How are they linked with the up and reskilling of the current workforce?
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Astrid Schmidt-Kläuber from Boco University in Vienna. This is also where I did my studies, and I am I'm also involved in freshwater biodiversity and monitoring and restoration. So just to tackle a little bit the first point. And as to the second point, I would like to briefly introduce what we did in Merlin. So Merlin is a project that deals with wetland and freshwater restoration. And seeing that wetland and freshwater restoration is no longer a niche technical activity, but an emerging professional field. And we try to address this in Merlin to fill the knowledge gap, but also to provide career structures and competencies and learning pathways so that we can deliver long-term a restoration of freshwaters. And therefore we have created the Merlin Academy. And the Merlin Academy currently offers 3 expert-led online modules. And the first one is on implementing and evidencing freshwater and wetland restoration. The second one is on stakeholder engagement and governance. And the third one is on the economics and financing of freshwater wetland restoration. And all these, or each module is divided into short focused subunits with pre-recorded videos and readings, and all the sub-modules are then finalized by quizzes where people can actually test their knowledge. And what is cool about our Merlin Academy is that it is super flexible because it's self-paced. So you can you just enroll for it, and then you can learn whenever you have the time for it. And it's also cool because it was developed during the Merlin project, so a EU-funded project. So there are no costs for learning. It's all for free, and it really brings high quality science-based restoration knowledge, which is presented by experts, and it brings this to everyone, anytime and everywhere, so to say. And also the project will end in March next year. The Academy will remain online, and we are very lucky that Biodiversa Plus will fund a follow-up project, which is called Flood Train. And Flood Train is especially for building knowledge or learning pathways for floodplain restoration. So exactly what you are talking here about. So in that sense, I would highly welcome any cooperation between us. And the Merlin Academy is super open to other projects. So it's now called Merlin Academy because it was developed within Merlin. But in the end, we will reframe it a little bit, call it Freshwater Restoration Academy, and then invite other projects to also submit their modules, like we are currently doing with Phyllis and EcoAdvance. So this is it in a short.
That sounds amazing, and I am very sure that we will get to a very nice cooperation on that part.
I will put the link to the Academy into the chat.
Thank you very much. And taking a look at the third question, at open innovation, transdisciplinarity, project management. What does the interconnection of these 3 terms mean to you in the context of wetland freshwater or freshwater restoration? And I would like to address this question to Maria. And first of all, again, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Jan. I want also to thank to Astrid, also Phyllis for the presentations, and of course also thank you so much, Victoria and Ekaterina, for your presentations. So today I think I am the one with less expertise or knowledge directly related with wetlands restoration. So I am project manager at Innova Plus, a Portuguese consultancy company. I have a background in marketing and management, and then later on I did my master's in creative industries management. And while my education is not directly related with wetland restoration, biodiversity, and environmental works. My background indeed led me to work in several projects within biodiversity and environmental restoration, particularly DaWetRest. So currently at Innova, I am project manager of several projects, particularly and more specifically projects within the mission Ocean from the European Commission. And these projects, they have this uniqueness of bringing an open innovative approach and use this transdisciplinarity concept. Why this is important? So unfortunately, currently our world, our environment is facing very critical issues. And these issues are mainly caused by human factors. So humans as individuals or groups, companies and so on, we are we have a huge impact causing these negative effects in our world. That's why we are somehow important actors in finding the solution. And the European Commission is very keen to use these concepts of open innovation. It means bring different technologies, bring different approaches, different actors to find a common solution to address these critical issues. This is very important to find an optimal solution. We already saw that only implementing active measures or technical interventions on site, for example, or only focus on scientific approaches is not enough to protect our world, to protect our ecosystems. And particularly now focusing on the wetlands, they have a variety of benefits. So they protect us. They have a huge impact in stabilizing the quality of our ecosystems, our environment, but they are, for example, also a part of our landscape. They are also important for citizens, for the people, individuals, in a perspective of their daily routines. And considering this, creativity and art can also take a good role in supporting these important aspects of how we can engage people, citizens, the youth, the local communities, how we can engage them in our projects or activities to protect and restore the wetlands. So overall, and in line with Phyllis and also Astrid's presentation, the key challenge is communication. How we will communicate our activities and projects that are somehow more technical or scientific focus, but how we can effectively translate our findings or our concerns so that we can mobilize all actors and all those that are affected or can be affected, so that we can find this optimal solution on the long term.
Thank you very much, Maria, for that input. And it perfectly bridges to our third point, which is communicating wetland restoration. And the first point I would like to address to Victoria about citizen science. So how can citizen science initiatives be effectively communicated to local communities and stakeholders? And how can we then foster engagement and trust in wetland or freshwater restoration? I mean, since we have heard it multiple times and are, I guess, all also aware of the fact that communication is some sort of central.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a very hard question actually, because we have already collected the already existed citizen science tools in Europe, and yeah. And as we see, regarding wetland restoration, we have less citizen science tools than regarding to other parts of the citizen science. And we try to figure out how can we convince, because we are talking about also this citizen engagement and involvement, and how can we convince them to use this kind of citizen science solutions. So as I mentioned, maybe I mentioned this mayors and municipalities. If we can talk to the mayor or somebody who has a voice in the local community, and we can involve and we can convince them to use this citizen science. After that, it will be easier to spread in the community this kind of solution. But of course, for this, how can we convince them? So before this trainings, that's why I just checked what artists did this. Astrid, I'm sorry, you did this academy, because you have similar modules, but not the same, and it's very important, and it's very good to see, because we can, it would be great if we can combine and if we can cooperate somehow with these modules, because I'm dealing with citizen engagement and citizen science as a geographer, and so not only with the wetland restoration exactly, but as I see, as I mentioned, if we can convince some people from the local community, after that it will be easier. But it takes time, as I mentioned, and it needs more activities, I mean local activities. So it needs more field work. So we have to be there with this local community, with the people, with possible stakeholders. We have to know each other, with the farmers, with the municipalities, employees, and everybody actually from these local sites. And after that, if they see because sometimes, they see the university is not approachable. If they have some problems, they cannot email or text to the researchers, right? Because it's very important if they know my email address, if they know my cell phone number, and after that, if they have any problem, what they occur during their activities, and after that, just they can call me, or they can call my other colleague from a different faculty, and this kind of connection, this kind of trust, because we have to build this trust among us, among the citizens, and between the institutions. And after that, if we have this kind of trust, after that, it's much easier to convince them to use this citizen science, to use our modules, because after that you will see the benefit. After that you will see the long-term benefit. And that's why I don't know, maybe you could see my answer to the Nuno's question, because they have to see the economical part, the environmental part, and the social part as well, the value of these new activities, for example, citizen science. And it's very important if we can start it from the beginning, from the young age. I mean, the students, we have to start it with the students. We have to start it with primary students. And that's why I love our coloring book, what we did in this project, because it's, it's very, it's very cute, actually. First of all, it's very cute, and after that, it's very useful for the kids, because they see how does it work, the biodiversity, how does it work, the ecosystem, what kind of connection they have between the different parts of ecosystem. So it's very important. But I used to do it with my university students as well. As I mentioned, the field work, it's very important. So if we go to the field, if we go to the municipalities, firstly, they have to know something about these municipalities. Beforehand, they have to know something about the stakeholders, about the farmers, about the system. What does it work actually at local level? And after that, they have to listen to the stakeholders. They have to listen to the locals. And after that, this trust building actions and activities. Yeah, after that, this sharing of knowledge, sharing of experiences, sharing of everything, it's much easier. Maybe it was a bit wider answer,
No, I mean,
but you, yeah, but yeah, this is
thank
my
you very much for
opinion
this
about citizen
for
science.
this
Thank you.
broad answer, because it also already tackled a lot of the other questions that were on the slide. But due to the looking at the time, I first of all wanted to apologize that we did not tackle as many questions as possible as I had hoped we would. But do you have? I would kindly ask the participants of the roundtable for one thing you would pass on to new researchers or people getting into the field. What is, in your opinion, the most important thing? Let's start with Phyllis, please.
Sure. What I would like to say is the most important thing is realizing that communicating is part of science and part of your responsibilities, no matter what you do. If you just think that, oh, I'm going to write a paper and somebody's going to read it, and oh, somebody is going to come and listen to my lecture. No, communicating to the world, to your kids' youth groups, to your citizens groups, to anyone that you come across about what you do makes it a more significant contribution. So when you start as a scientist and think that my equations or my AI or my science and my technical skills are the critical ones, they're not the only critical ones. They're critical, but really critical is your interest and your ability to communicate what you do.
Thank you very much. Astrid.
So I totally agree with what Phyllis said. So communication is certainly key, but also for young researchers, it is important that they stick with it and they, don't leave the field too early, because it might be difficult to get funding, long-term funding. There's this lack of recognition and all that stuff. But really, I would recommend to, keep at it and stick with it and be focused and
Thank you. Maria.
A bit in line with Phyllis and Astrid, I would say researchers and scientists to rely on soft skills, soft tools, communication, visual elements, and as professionals, technicians or scientists, sometimes we want to share a lot of information because we really know what we are saying and we understand the impacts and the value of our findings. However, sometimes for a person that does not has a relation with the topic, it's very difficult to find the value and the impact of what you are doing as a scientist or as a professional. And although very important, just do a lack of an adjustment in the communication style or in the message that you are passing, because for different audience, the message and or the value will be different. Just for that, maybe we are losing our opportunity to show how important it is to protect or solve a specific issue. So my suggestion is rely on facilitation, workshops, post-its, visual elements, and systemize also that kind of soft tools. Report, analyze, brainstorm, and use that information, not just to put it in an archive, but use that soft information or not so systemize the information in your knowledge creation, I would say.
Thank you for adding to the previous mentions. And now, Victoria, last but not least, very briefly.
Oh, I think I have already a lot of things, but yeah, okay. I would like to emphasize this involvement of students, the university students, so the young generation, and the involvement them into the fieldwork, into the project, because I involved, for example, for this DaWetRest project as well, 5 or 6 PhD students, and they are really keen to do something meaningful. Maybe this is the most important part, this kind of involvement of them, and how can we maintain their interest and their involvement. Yeah, it's a hard question, but maybe 10 years later I can answer this question. So thank you.
Thank you very much, and also thank you very much to participating at the at this today's committee of practice. There is